move through the draw with the minimum of fuss. Let's see how she gets on. She will begin this second round match.
Ready, play. You
were just telling me, Andrea, off air, that you've come up against Shibahara in the past. What are your memories of that day? That was on the doubles court.
It was on the doubles court, yes. I played her on grass in Berlin, and she played very flat, good backhand. And let's see if she applies the same thing on the singles court as well. This is the bread and butter of Swiatek, when she can control the court from the center with her forehand side. Has a bit of an extreme grip, so can be rushed into that wing, but when she has time, just so heavy, that ground stroke.
Nice. A bit of early appreciation from this Arthur Ashe Stadium crowd. They want to see a battle today, won't they? But so I assume they'll, greatest of respect, they're going to get behind Shibahara today, give her some love. Champion here, of course, 2022. Alongside her success in Paris. She added another Roland Garros trophy to her growing collection a few weeks ago. Successful opening service game.
First game.
Telling herself that she needs to keep looking to move forward. We know how successful she is in the doubles, so we'll have to see if that's part of her game plan. But that's been one indication that that's her strategy out here, to try and apply that pressure to Swiatek.
Nice, thanks, Jill. I'll be checking in with you on a regular basis.
I love when they show this angle, this camera angle, just to get a feel at home of how fast-paced the game has become. And that was a great indication of the return quality of Iga Swiatek.
Already from when you played the Japanese player, of the shape of first shot compared to Iga's. Something you don't always pick up on from the higher camera angle. I'm sure that's something that Jill will be keeping a close eye on as well. Court side.
Yeah, she has the perfect view just behind the net, so she can keep us updated on the height above the net. And you could see already how Iga's ground strokes differ from each other.
We'll be looking forward to your average net clearance calculations, Jill. You got your calculator with you?
I'm on it. I'm keeping an eye on it. I will let you know. So far, I would say Iga does have a little bit more high clearance, especially on that forehand side. She's got such great rotation.
Early games are important, aren't they? Something we were talking about in the previous match with Mickelson facing Sinner. And the conversation we were having yesterday.
Yeah.
Sticking to these top players.
Unfortunately, you can see how quickly Shibahara is up to those short balls. That is obviously a quality you have to learn in doubles fairly quickly, to recognize the short balls first and then to move up to them quickly. But a first break chance for the world #1 now.
Well, the perfect start for the top seed and former champion. Oh, any nerves today? That will help to settle those.
There's nice consistency in the beginning from Swiatek. Obviously, they haven't played each other before, so Swiatek's being smart right now, just playing her best margins, keeping the ball crossed. And I have to say that last game, Shibahara just pressing a little bit, especially on that last backhand.
Semi-finalist in Cincinnati coming into the US Open. Lost to Sabalenka there in straight sets in the last 4. Very, very quick courts in Cincy. That was one of the talking points that week.
Oh.
Which historically have been tougher conditions for Iga to dominate opponents on. As many will know, at home on her beloved clay, especially the Paris clay, where she has built a phenomenal record over the last few years.
Oh, beautiful serve. Something she's worked on before. We touched on the extreme grip she has on the forehand, and on the clay, you just, through the graininess of the surface, it breaks the ball down a bit, and it's easier for Iga to get underneath the ball and create that heavy rotation on the forehand side.
Out 40 love.
Looking smooth so far.
Swiatek.
Another decent serve and the perfect
Swiatek
opening 3 games for the top seed.
First set.
3 first set. Years of age. Born in the US, in fact, over on the West Coast in California, and played college tennis in this part of the world, so very familiar with these sort of conditions. UCLA was a Bruin over on the West Coast.
Love 13.
In a row for Iga, who's starting to really dominate this opening set.
Couple of attempts to rush the net here by Shibahara, so not sure how loud Jill Cravis is speaking down there, but she might have heard Jill, who suggested that as a game plan, right, Jill?
That's right. Sorry, I was just having trouble with my button to go in there, but here I am.
We can hear you.
Okay, great.
Loud and clear.
Four.
15-40.
I was just going to comment that the one thing that I have noticed with Shibahara is that the ball is coming so fast back at her that she's barely had time to get ready. Off the serve, she's just getting caught on her back foot, and it's because how early and aggressive Swiatek takes that ball.
Four.
It's a nice combination. Good serve as well. Save break point. Bang on the line. A few more of those will grow the confidence.
Game, Swiatek.
It's just too good.
Yes,
Swiatek leads
Yeah,
by
I don't
4
think
games to love.
It's even Shibahara. I just think that's what Iga does when she rolls, and it was such a good point made by Jill earlier about her return quality. That's one of her biggest strengths, is how aggressively she returns, which also, interestingly, can at times be her biggest downfall, because she just refuses to take a step back against the big servers. We see her struggle against the Rybakinas, Sabalenkas, Noskovas in this world, who have this big first strike. And this stubbornness makes somebody so good, but sometimes in a few moments can also hinder them from achieving even more things. Then she wouldn't lose any match at all. Imagine that.
Graphic that we saw pop up briefly is to remind you to download the US Open app, follow all your favorite players. All the scores, the stats, highlights on there as well. Get the player news and the schedules too. New this year, watch live 3D views of all singles matches. That's available on the App Store and Google Play Store.
I almost feel like Shibahara could take a step back on her return. I mean, she's struggling reacting to Swiatek's serve right now. She's getting a little bit caught. I think that has a lot to do with her doubles play. She's so used to taking that ball early. I feel like she could give herself a little bit more space.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't think Iga has lost a point on her. Has she on her first serve? Well, she's 9 out of 12, so she's winning 75% of first serves and 90% of second serves. There we have it. 89, I rounded up, sorry.
Four.
Out. Game.
It's been almost perfect so
Swiatek.
far from the top seed, looking good.
Swiatek leads 5 games to love
After
for
5 games, she's only dropped New York City for the top seed, who is full of energy on the far end of the court. Just watching her through her footwork drills, getting ready for another return game. Just a good view down there, Jill, of the intensity that Iga brings to the court. 5 love. She's dropped 6 points, but so much desire and intensity from her end of the court.
Yeah, definitely. She always brings that intensity, and it's right from the very first point. And you can feel that from the other side of the court, and that's something that the top players do so well, is that especially Iga, she gets on top of you right from the start. I do feel like the whole situation might be causing Shibahara to be a little bit, I mean, she does look nervous out there if I'm looking at her face in between the points. So I think a lot of it is just getting used to the experience. Yes, she's been on the big stage in doubles, but it's much different here on the singles court. Just her out there, no partner to help her. So she's got to figure this out. It's an awesome experience to have. And I agree with Andrea. Like, if she can just settle a little bit and get some of these longer rallies, get into the match a little bit more.
Second double faults from the Japanese player. Very quickly, the top seed with set point.
Ball.
Game and first set.
It's another
Swiatek.
Iga Swiatek bagel.
6 games to love.
In just 23 minutes, she has raced through that. So let's
Second
see
set.
how set 2 goes, particularly for the qualifier, who I feel has been a little bit overawed by the occasion, perhaps.
Out. 15 love.
As far as Iga is concerned, she'll be delighted. She won't care too much, particularly after a tricky opening match. It's the most convincing performance, 4 and 6 in the first round. Nice. That's better. A nice reaction too.
15 all.
I love the mindset to try and push herself, not give up on herself. That's so easy to do. These players know that Iga Swiatek, when she gets on a roll, just hands out the bagels. So that's a good way to showing and signaling to the opponent, I still believe in myself.
15-30.
I do think that small outburst Shibahara had, it was a positive one. I think she needed that. She needed to let out some of that tension, because right away when she got ready for that next serve, she just had a little more intensity about her.
This is so much about stage presence and how you show yourself on the court. I often compare it to theater, where you kind of wear a mask when you step on the court and try to signal to the opponent, I'm here, I believe in myself, I'm full of confidence. Power poses all the way. A little outcry from Iga too, who is pushing back. These are my favorite things in tennis. Thomas looking on, the man who never smiles, as I like to term him.
Just a smile about so far.
Game, Swiatek.
Fraction long. So the
First game,
dominance continues.
second set.
Respond that much. I think she was trying to look for some energy from them, but they were just kind of looking very relaxed, and now they've kind of put their hand to their heart, trying to give her something to grab onto. That's just too good. That was one of Shibahara's best shots, and Swiatek responds with how quick she moves around the court and cuts that angle off. Incredible athleticism.
The semis there before in the mixed Shibahara. That was with Mate Pavic. Impressive doubles achievements.
And this was the perfect example of what Jill just talked about, that heaviness of Iga's ground strokes, how they get away from Shibahara, who almost prefers to play beneath the hip. A lot of women like to play hip height, maybe a bit above, but she almost likes it even lower. And so that rotation that Iga has is really troubling her.
Pushing for yet another break of serve. She can open up a 2-love lead. You start to worry about the amount of time left for Shibahara to start to work back into this second set. Best of 3 set matches, you get off to a slow start. One player dominates the early stages. They disappear so quickly. Especially if you're feeling a bit tight out there.
I serve here, and you're so right, Lee, because it's been 32 minutes and already she has to fear to not even get on the board. And in a best of 5, you have a bit more time, and that already relaxes you, and you settle in quicker because you know there is time to get into the match. Not so here.
Here we go then. imagine she's going to get an awful lot of love from this crowd if she can convert this game point coming up. In the top seed under some good pressure there. Nice 360 from Iga. Even that wasn't enough. It's tough.
Yeah, well played by Iga once more, and that backhand down the line really had her starting win those major titles. When she came up, I practiced with her a lot. She had a great backhand, but almost kept it always cross-court. And she incorporated that down the line, and it opened up so many more opportunities for her in a rally. Sets up her forehand. Most girls lift their backhand down the line with their forehands.
It's much better. Probably the best point she's played so far. Great stuff.
Advantage Shibahara.
That was excellent from Shibahara. Just the movement alone increased. She was much better at getting behind the ball, getting in better position. Her footwork was definitely more accurate. Those quick, small steps. Yeah, the best rally of her for her so far.
13 shots. That's been the longest rally. Game point once more.
Let's for serve.
Turn was back on her quickly.
Juice.
Couple of game points she's had. She's been unable to make a first serve on both occasions, unfortunately.
Yeah, the first serve was a lead, and you could hear all the crowd behind me go, oh, just praying, wanting her to get on the board.
Advantage Shibahara.
And I wonder whether, I know the wide serve is Shibahara's favorite, but I wonder whether she should try and go for that T serve into Iga's forehand, where she can be late at times when it has enough pace, or she will lift it and then Shibahara can step in and take it early. That's what she tried.
Okay, she misses the first serve.
Juice.
That's really unfortunate because her natural movement goes more to Iga's backhand, and that's the shot she returns better on, more solid on. You can see it, this is more of a kick motion. She throws it behind her over to the left side, and it's really hard to get a slice on that from that ball toss.
First ace. Can she reproduce that sort of quality on what is a fourth game point?
Juice.
On we go. I think lengthy second game. To a 9th minute.
Advantage Shibahara.
The top seed's in a ruthless mood today. Will not budge. 5 game points have come and gone. Deuce number 6. Anticipation that time. She was ready for that forehand volley.
Swiatek.
Miss Swiatek was so fast up to that ball. As soon as she saw Shibahara having to hit that half volley, that first step up was so quick to get up to take that ball on the rise.
Chance to break now. Some good power.
Yeah, now she had that. Now she got that bit of pace into the forehand side, got that shorter return, which she wasn't able to pull off when she's had game points. But 10 minutes and going, and she's still in this game.
Still nothing to show for it on the scoreboard as yet.
Ball.
Nice forehands up the line in the second. Surely this time. The crowd are ready. Andrea Petkovic is ready next to me.
I'm ready.
I know we're supposed to stay impartial, aren't we? But I think we all want her to get on the board here.
Stunning forehand. That was a great shot by Shibahara. Had fantastic depth and spin. Let's take a look here. Doesn't quite get the direction right. And this shot here is so good. But Iga Swiatek gets her body weight behind it, swings through confidently. Perfect execution.
This has become 13th minute now.
Advantage Shibahara.
The longer the game goes on, I think the longer and louder the cheer will be if she can finally convert here. Another chance to level the scores early in this second set. There we go. And nice to see such a big smile. Her did that sound down there, Jill?
It was pretty loud. It was relatively long as well, but it was loud. I just took one headset off and I had to put it back on because of how loud everyone was cheering. But how nice is that? I mean, we got a lot of smiles, particularly around me, and looking at Shibahara, just really getting behind her, and a huge smile from Ena as well.
Just as importantly, Jill, the level looking a lot better all of a sudden, just a bit more belief maybe.
Definitely looks more comfortable. I think she moved back a little bit just to give her some extra time. She was being so rushed when her court position was on top of the baseline, and now in the rally, she's just a couple extra feet behind the baseline, just giving herself a little extra time to see the ball, to get set up. Still feel like she could take the first serve, maybe start a little further back and then move forward. She's struggling to get that first serve return back in play.
Swiatek unfazed by the length of the previous game. The fact that Shibahara made it onto the scoreboard. Straight back to business. Ruthlessly efficient service game
Swiatek leads by
from the world number one.
Second set, 1 set.
After 13 minutes of serving. But she's up and running. That's the main thing. We're on serve. 1-2.
Well done. Was there a little dream in play, Jill, or was
Definitely.
Okay. Just checking.
Whatever works, right? No, it was an incredible volley.
This is good. It's so much more comfortable out there, which is understandable. This is an overwhelming, or can be an overwhelming arena to play in.
Ball.
It's taken an awful lot of self-belief, poise and composure to settle and then try and get the best from your game, regardless of who's down the far end.
Took her body up, her upper body just didn't stay above the ball, but she took it back in the last moment. You can see it here. That's why the ball flies on her. But coming back to your point, Lee, she has shown some great mindset out here.
40-30.
So positive. Good body language. That was not an easy first set to digest, but she's doing very well in that regard.
Ball.
Thank you. Cheers.
Four.
Advantage, Shibahara.
Shake of the head. Almost half volleyed that backhand.
Cheers.
That's the one she's continuing to struggle with, that deep down the center return that Swiatek is consistently hitting. Shibahara is just not reacting quickly enough off of that serve, and she's getting caught on that half volley. She's struggling to control that shot.
Through.
Yeah, that was well done by Swiatek, who attacked cross-court with the backhand, which opens up some angles for the opponent, but did well in remaining calm and then finally putting it away. Another aspect of her game that still can be improved, and it's scary to think that the world #1 still has aspects in her game that can be improved. So young still, 23 years old, Iga.
Four.
Game, Swiatek.
So on at the break.
Swiatek leads 3-1, second set.
It's taken a little bit longer for the top seed to take control of this second set.
Trust what you're doing. You're right in there.
普通のボール入んないの。
ちゃんと振り切りはちゃんと振り切りは。
自分のボール打てる準備。はいば。
Positive messages from the team. Just a quick reminder to head to usopen.org. That's your online home for point-by-point live scoring highlights, all the stats on there, the draws and the schedules. That's the official tournament website, usopen.org.
Fifteen love.
Shibahara's played pretty much 3 times as many points on serve compared to Swiatek in this second set.
Fifteen all.
32 for the Japanese player on serve in just 2 service games. I just had to double check that. That's a remarkable number, isn't it? Didn't sound right.
Yeah,
So.
I was looking at it thinking it might be a mistake, but then I remembered they played 18 minutes that game before, so that'll do it.
4.
(30-15).
Again, Swiatek being very smart about these flatter balls coming from Shibahara. Swiatek has so much more height over the net than Shibahara, and that's the one that is giving trouble to Shibahara to be able to hit that ball cleanly.
There it is again. And Jill, it seems almost as if Swiatek did the same thing on her backhand side as well now. Is that correct?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. She's doing it on both wings. I mean, it's smart because she has a good court position where she can strike through the ball, but she's opting to make that choice of hitting the high ball. And Shibahara, she's getting unforced errors from Shibahara.
Very nice.
40-30. Let's for serve. Game. Swiatek.
Incredible intensity. Different story today. So trailing 4-1, second set.
15 love.
Somehow try and reproduce the tennis that allowed her to get on the board early in the second. It's been a much tighter second set, despite the scoreline.
Let's for serve.
Way longer as well, 36 minutes for this set. So just 23 for the opening set.
Just showing her intelligence, her high tennis IQ here. Hit the return with a lot of depth, push the opponent back behind the baseline, and then hit the short point, the angle to open the court. Just making the opponent run in all different kinds of manners.
Shibahara just continuing to have to scramble. I can hear the footwork between the two as well. And Swiatek, just the intensity of those extra steps to get into position. I don't hear it as much on Shibahara's side, but that's the intensity we talked about from the beginning that Swiatek brings.
Game, Swiatek.
So almost.
Swiatek leads 5 games to 1.
Job
second
done.
set.
Inside Arthur Ashe Stadium. It's been ruthless and businesslike today.
Well, and she will want to end this quickly now, just for safety of mind, because she has struggled in closing matches out. Just remember the first round when she was up 5-3 in the second set. Everything seemed like a normal day, serving for the match, and then had to save 3 set points. Cincinnati up 6-2, 5-1, lost the second set. So she will want to make a quick process here to show herself that she can still do it easily as well.
Love 15.
Just looking at some of the results so far today that might have just cleared the path somewhat for Swiatek. Mira Andreeva losing today, surprisingly, the 21st seed. Had a tough one with the youngster in Cincy. Quarterfinals, that went the distance.
all.
Perhaps would have run into Andreeva in the last 16. But it will very much be one match at a time. That's the mantra. First week of the majors. Do you guys really not look at the draw?
30-15.
Is that the truth?
I
We
always
hear that
did.
a lot.
I know. I always did. I didn't look exactly which round who was waiting, but I always knew who the seeded players were in my
Okay.
section. So that's how I
never did.
No.
So you like to get an idea of the general
Yes,
landscape.
Yes. I like to get an idea of which war I have to go to, possibly.
40-15.
Two match points.
Game,
Very
set a
quick
match,
and
Swiatek.
stress-free today for the top
2
seed.
sets to love, 6 love.
Completely dominant.
6-1.
And goes through for the loss of just a single game. Well, it looked on paper, Andrea, like a tough task, didn't it? The world number 1 against the world number 217, who has such little experience at Grand Slam level on a singles court, and that's how it played out.
That's how it played out. Shibahara really needed a full set to